Hi everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel, a new video on OT and ICS cyber security. Um, it's a quick video today on one of the major topic when it comes to OT and ICS, which is compliance. Now, unfortunately, most of the organization I have been dealing with so far, they are seeking seriously 100% compliance with cybersecurity regulation, whether it's local regulation or international regulation, and they are seeking 100% compliance, for example, on all the controls. Uh, and unfortunately, some of the organization they even put it as a KPI on the cybersecurity department, from which the cybersecurity department will move it forward to the operation and maintenance department, which will also become KPI, so they can also support this process. Now, the funny thing in the whole discussion going on inside this organization is they put a target 1 year or 2 years to achieve this target. And I would say that, and based on my long experience in the OT and ICS field, nobody can achieve 100% in the OT environment. The way how you handle an oil and gas environment or a petrochemical plant is not exactly the same how you handle a wind turbine or a wind farm environment. It's not the same way how you handle a pharmaceutical factory, for example, with all these coating machine, pressing machine, etc. It's not the same way how you handle a discrete process with multiple or thousands of machine distributed over multiple factories. So this is one of the compliance challenge, and even in the OT environment, uh, the the uh, the variety of production process we have, batching process, discrete process, continuous process, etc. So this is a challenge now in achieving compliance. At the same time, when I take it uh, in OT regulation, and I'll give an example. For example, for OTCC, the Saudi local regulation, as part of the compliance, for example, we have a domain like GRC domain, which is covering multiple main control and sub control. And one of these control, for example, to have a change, cybersecurity change management, document, process, procedure, and policy, etc. Now, can I achieve this one and reach to 100% as a target by developing this documentation in a proper way, serving my environment, serving my uh, existing industrial and automation system process? In my opinion, for example, I can achieve 100% here with the collaboration between the different and related department, like uh, this is process department. Let's take, for example, the instrumentation department, the operation and maintenance department, the collaboration with the OEM, if there is a collaboration, like resident engineer, and the collaboration overall with the cybersecurity department. We can develop and maintain this documentation and process and achieve 100%. Okay, what about now? Let's take, for example, anti-malware solution. Okay, one of the control under the defense domain is to achieve or implement a cybersecurity anti-malware solution for all the endpoint within the industrial control system, process, and environment. Okay, can we do this or not? Now, let's take it into several parts. The first one is, if I implement the anti-malware solution in the HMI, in the engineering workstation, where I have all these OEM software and database, the way how I will implement the anti-malware solution will not be 100% implemented. It will be implemented. At the same time, I will make exception for the full directory. For example, for the runtime application, which is integrated with SQL database, for example, and I will isolate the directory of this critical runtime application file software from any anti-malware solution scanning process. If I upgrade later on, not upgrade, if I update the signature file for the anti-malware solution, it will not affect that isolated part. Of course, it will provide me a certain level of protection, but I will not achieve it 100% because I cannot achieve it, because if I implement it with the complete 100% capability of the anti-malware on the Windows operating system, I might lose some of the DLL files. It might delete some critical files, library files for my runtime application. Of course, depending on which vendor also you are using, and if it's integrated with database like SQL or not, it gets more complicated. Now, I cannot achieve it 100%, then I also have a risk of the system being compromised from that isolated directory. Now, so it's clear now, I cannot achieve 100%, but maybe I can achieve 20 or 30%, which is, in my opinion, it's more than enough. Now, let's take it to the second challenge. In the compliance process, if I refer to the first example, the change management process, documentation, etc., we can achieve 100% and we can maintain this process and carry on by monitoring any change process in the future. Okay, so I can achieve 100% here. But when it comes to the anti-malware part, now forget about the isolation and the directory. How often, I mean, let's assume I achieve 50% for my anti-malware solution, and this 50% after 5 years, maybe, or 6 years, will go down to 20%. Why it will go down to 20%? Now, forget about all the legacy system and the other stuff we always give as an excuse. Let's assume my anti-malware solution, we download it, we install it on Windows 11, everything is new. My even runtime application is from the OEM vendor is new. Now, what will happen after 6 years? For example, Windows 11 will expire. Okay, this is just an example. Okay, therefore, my anti-malware station, my anti-malware solution, sorry, will I will also need to upgrade it because I need to renew my Windows operating system. Therefore, I need to renew my anti-malware solution, or maybe at some point the anti-malware solution will expire, and or maybe the vendor of the anti-malware solution will stop this product, and you need to upgrade to the newest version, or you need to upgrade to the latest version, which might be not compatible with the existing Windows operating system you have, or you need already to upgrade your Windows operating system. So here comes the question, how much the compliance level will become. Like for sure it will go down, and it will not be like a continuous 150% compliance. So there is a change in the value and for that part of the regulation or any other similar regulation. Another thing with the compliance in the OT ISIS environment, you really don't need to become also 100% compliance. There are certain parts where you need to upgrade your Windows operating system to become compliant by installing all the related security patches for all the industrial component applicable with that scope. But the challenge also, upgrading the operating system might result in changing certain hardware and software within your organization or within your industrial environment, which may mean upgrading the whole thing by the end, or upgrading 30% or 30 or 50, depending on the OEM vendor also you are dealing with, or the machine manufacturer. So you have all these kind of challenge within the compliance process. Therefore, you need to be aware before you plan the compliance process, and you need a proper support from expert in the OT environment to guide you through the process and what can be complied, what you can comply with, and how many percent you can achieve. At the same time, why you can only achieve this percent number, okay, and what are the justification and what are the evidence. If the person doing the job for you is not having any clue what is OT ISIS environment, how the PLC work, etc., he does not understand the black box concept, the partnership concept, for example. For this asset you don't have any access over, or you cannot touch it, he will not be able to support you. And trust me, you will repeat the process again and again and again, and you will get the same result. I hope you find this video useful and informative. Thank you so much for watching from here from Copenhagen, and see you again in another video very soon. Bye bye.